Welcome back, y'all. It's finally time for another episode of Dress to Debate. In the previous episode, we discussed ethereal outfits, which was pretty fun. We all tee-heed and ha-ha about it, but today's topic is a bit controversial. It's something the DTI community has been arguing about for a few weeks now. Honestly, I debated making this video for a while, but I feel like there's some important things people can learn from this whole conversation. I put a little disclaimer at the beginning of the video, just letting viewers know that the topic might make some people uncomfortable. So if you're one of those people, go ahead and skip this episode, I understand. But for everyone else, if you saw the thumbnail, then you know we're talking about the infamous boob hack.
The woman was too stunned to speak.
The discourse around this one has been pretty crazy, and if I'm being honest, this is probably the most split I've ever seen the community. I actually made a poll a while back asking people if they think the hack is okay or do they think it's wrong. 43% answered it eats, and 57% said it's wrong. So today I'm gonna do what I usually do and see both sides like Chanel, because there's so many valid reasons as to why it shouldn't be seen as wrong, but there's also valid reasons as to why people are concerned. Before we start, please be respectful in the comments. Since this topic is kind of controversial, I feel like people might get a bit upset at the different opinions, which is fine, you're allowed not to agree with everybody, but remember to be constructive with your feedback and viewpoints. In other words, please be very demure, very mindful in the comments. Also, in case you haven't heard, Dress to Impress is collabing with Twitch for the summer update. Viewers who watch a streamer play DTI for 30 minutes will earn these beautiful cyberpunk wings. So please follow me over on Twitch. I've been streaming there for almost 4 years. It would mean so much to me if y'all chose me to watch for the collab on June 28th. The link is in the description. Alright, enough yapping about that. Let's talk about how this all started. In April this year, Dress to Impress added the adjustment tool feature. With this new feature, players are able to change the position, rotate, and change the size of items. Now, to have access to this feature, you need to play 30 rounds of DTI, or you can buy the game pass. Anyways, ever since the release of the adjustment tool, so many players have made amazing outfits using it. Some of the best ones I've seen come from an account on Twitter called Catsfy, but the one that had me shook the most was the one with Rapunzel and her tower. Anyways, before this tool even released, people were already worried that somebody would use it to make something inappropriate. And to be honest, I personally haven't seen anybody do that yet, but I'm sure it's already happened. And depending on what side you're on, you probably think this specific hack is one of those examples. On May 26, a user named Minx posted a TikTok that went pretty viral. In this video, the user teaches players how to make boobs using the adjustment tool. And in the description of the video, it says, "Don't make this weird, guys." But since we're talking about it today, y'all can already imagine how the comments looked. Some of the top comments say, "Watch DTI remove the feature now. This is a kid's game." But then you have comments of people saying, "Y'all acting like y'all never seen female anatomy before," and "Y'all, it's not that deep, it's funny." So just based on that, y'all can tell that it's a mixed bag. Now I'm gonna bring this up because I know some people are gonna mention it, but I saw a few people online saying that DTI reposted these videos. Not this one specifically, but of other videos of people doing the hack. When I was researching, I only found one video that was reposted by them, and it's someone cosplaying as Rasputia from the movie Norbit, which I'm not gonna lie, y'all, this was so funny. This person is so creative. I was cracking up when I first saw this. Now, the reason why a lot of people brought this up is to basically show that Dress to Impress is okay with it. They haven't addressed it directly, so we don't really know, but typically when something like this starts to happen, they make an announcement as soon as possible, or at least that's what they've done in the past. Now that we're done with the backstory, we're gonna go to the section where we talk about what's the issue with the hack, and the section after that, we'll talk about why people argue that it isn't wrong. Let's go ahead and start. Okay, so the first reason isn't that serious, but pretty much a bunch of people are saying that it's ugly. I saw a few people saying this under my community post, but let's not dwell on that. The next reason is that Roblox is a kid's platform. Now, this has been brought up a bunch of times in different situations. I remember a while back, somebody made a comment saying how they were tired of seeing adults pushing kids out of platforms made for them. And I believe the person who made that comment was talking about inappropriate outfits like the dancer ones. I think I talked about it it in the first video I made about toxic players, which I 100% agree with. It's really annoying when people do stuff like this, but the question is, does the boob hack fall under that category? Now, the next reason that's somewhat similar is the game is rated for all ages, so it shouldn't be allowed. Honestly, ever since DTI got super famous, people have been arguing about whether it should be an 18+ game or if it should stay for all ages. That's a whole separate argument on its own, but yeah, a lot of people were saying that these types of hacks shouldn't be allowed unless they're gonna make the rating of the game higher. The next reason is a little bit different. There are people who think the hack is fine on its own, but the problem is they feel like other people are gonna use it as a joke or make it inappropriate somehow. So it'll go from somebody using it normally to it looking like NSFW and then having the whole thing banned. Which leads us to the next concern. Roblox will force the devs to remove the adjustment tool, or the devs will remove it because people are using it inappropriately. Personally, I think it is valid to be concerned about this. Roblox moderation is pretty strange. Like when they removed the second version of the Ice Queen set, nobody really understood why it got taken away, but it's reasons like that why I understand people being worried. So far, Roblox hasn't done anything about it, and if anybody watching is kind of in the loop about the hatch event situation, then they're most likely not concerned about something like this. As for the developers, again, they haven't said anything about it. I also haven't heard of anybody getting banned because of it, so for now the adjustment tool is safe. And if I'm being honest, I don't think they would take the tool away first. It would be such a huge injustice, and like me personally, I've grown to like the tool a lot. I haven't made anything crazy. The best thing I've made is Nezuko, but it definitely comes in handy for things here and there, specifically for hair hacks. If anything, I feel like the Dress to Impress developers would do something different, like maybe make the game pass a little more expensive or limit which items can be used with the adjustment tool. Now, the very last reason why a lot of people find this hack to be wrong is because they feel uncomfortable, and I've seen both adults and kids talk about this. I'm gonna go ahead and read a couple of comments from the community post I made where players express why they think the hack is wrong. Irene P commented, "To be honest, I find it inappropriate because there's still kids and teenagers playing it, and I myself, an adult, don't feel comfortable seeing that." XOXO commented, "I personally don't like it. However, I guess it's fine if people use it on occasion for personal enjoyment, but definitely not for actual rounds with children able to see." Anna Marie 6871 commented, "The game is for all maturity levels. Until DTI makes an 18+ version of the game, it's inappropriate." And the last comment is from Lady Forsaken. "I think it's a bit too much. You already have girls on the body, and some tops make them stand out way more. Using the adjustment tool for that purpose, even if it's just to make characters like Jessica Rabbit or others, can backfire in a lot of ways. Sure, now it's just characters, but what happens when people start misusing it for a joke? That one thing would ruin it for everyone, just like it did before with the hot dog and other things." Now I'm gonna go ahead and keep my opinions until the end of the video, but let's go ahead and move on to the next section where we can see the other side of the coin and understand why people think the hack is okay. Alright, so for this specific section, there's pretty much only two main arguments that I've seen. The first one is that it's a body part that shouldn't be seen as inappropriate. Honestly, this reminded me of way back in the day when people were doing the BBO hack. If I remember correctly, I believe people were using the pumpkin to make it, and during that time there were some people saying that it was wrong. However, I never saw anybody get banned for doing it, because the truth is, it's the same scenario, just a different body part. This transitions us to the next argument, which is body shaming. So pretty much people feel like boobs are so normal that it's weird for people to call it inappropriate, and it does send a wrong message. I have seen comments where I feel like people were body shaming, but not intentionally, but it still comes off as harmful. I know it's just a game and it shouldn't be taken that serious. Honestly, the best way for me to explain it is like this. Pretend the Dress to Impress added the plus size bodies to the game. You decide to get on to play because you're so happy they finally added a body type similar to your own. You made a super cute outfit and you're so excited for people to see it. As soon as you get on the runway, you start seeing chat messages of people calling your body ugly and gross. You start wondering why people are being rude. It's normal for people to be plus size. Is this really how people think of me? Now imagine all that, but instead it's about boobs. There are actual people who have larger chests, and those people deal with the stigma that they're seen as inappropriate and that they should cover up, which is super harmful, and it is a type of body shaming. I'm gonna go ahead and read some comments that I found that state that this hack hack shouldn't be seen as an issue. Planet Said John commented, "It's fine because boobs actually exist. As long as the necessary parts are covered, it's okay. Otherwise, it's sending a message that boobs are inherently inappropriate depending on the size." Jones DTI commented, "I think it's fine as long as you cover it. It's woman anatomy, and if you take one step outside, you'll see it. You can find it inappropriate. I might argue with you about it if you're being disrespectful, but if you're making a fuss about women's anatomy, that's a big problem. People can view it as body shaming and it'll create insecurities." Miku Melody commented, "I don't really mind it because it's just human anatomy and some women do have bigger busts. DTI hasn't really made any settings to represent those body types yet." And the last one is from Glamour Glitz. "I honestly think it's okay. From what I've seen, the people using the hack aren't using it inappropriately. They cover the private areas and they also mostly use the hack for celebrities like Jessica Rabbit or Nicki Minaj. It also requires the adjustment tool, which you have to unlock or buy with Robux. And I doubt a troll would play 30 rounds or spend Robux on the game just to mess with people. I think the hack is pretty cool. After all, everybody's bodies are different. Bigger boobs aren't equivalent to being inappropriate." Now that we've seen comments from both sides, let's go ahead and look at comments of people in the middle. Nick commented, "It's fine if it's used properly, it's human anatomy, but it can definitely be used for wrong and encourage people who indulge in NSFW to actually use it for malicious purposes." Not Elathan, sorry if I said that wrong, commented, "It's one thing if it's showing, but partially covered if used for certain characters and body types, then I don't mind. But I would do it in a private server or with people who you know are 18 plus. Asher142 commented, "It's mostly fine, but I've already seen people in the regular servers and free play servers being inappropriate with the hack. I just hope that it doesn't end up like the water Muslim trend, but on the other hand, it's pretty funny when used for celebrities and whatnot." JinxRat5866 commented, "Can there be a 50-50 option? Like, I think it slays, but also I don't use it, and I mean, as long as nobody's making super inappropriate things, then I don't care." And the last one is from OKK3. "I don't know, I see both sides. As long as everything is covered, then I think it should be okay. It's mainly the issue with children, and it's being more of a children styled game and or people just not feeling comfortable with the hack." Alright, we're finally done with that. Let's go ahead and move on to the last section where I'll give my final thoughts and personal opinions on the whole situation. To start off, I somewhat understand certain concerns players have with the hack. For one, there are trolls who will take the opportunity to make something inappropriate any chance they get. Like last year when people were doing the t-shirt and hot dog hack, I feel like it is possible a troll will see this hack and then make it NSFW. But again, trolls would literally take any opportunity to make something inappropriate without the adjustment tool or not. I feel like that's one reason why DTI made it to where you have to play 30 rounds to use the tool. Because if everyone had access, people would make weird stuff or just find a way to exploit it. Now I'm gonna be so for real, I've only seen people do this hack in videos. Cause if we're being honest, ain't nobody got time for that. The adjustment tool takes up so much time. Like I already take 2 to 3 minutes to do my custom makeup, so I'm good. As for players who feel uncomfortable seeing the hack, I understand, specifically if you're a kid. I'm not gonna invalidate your feelings about it. Now even if you're a teen or an adult, I understand that in certain cultures there's a certain stigma around boobs. But the truth is that stigma is harmful. Boobs shouldn't be seen as inappropriate because it's a normal body part. And I agree that it sends the wrong message to people to call this hack inappropriate. So here's my opinion on the whole situation. I think the hack is fine as long as you're not making it weird, and that's a fine line that I feel some people will cross. If the theme is celebrity and you do the hack to come out as Kim Kardashian, cool. Or even if the theme is something simple like fairy and you do the hack, whatever. As long as you have clothes on, then it's fine. Now if the theme is future career and you do that tired joke about being a dancer and you use the hack,
you're done. You're done.
Also, one last thing, because I think some people might bring it up, but the hot dog and t-shirt hack are not the same as the boob hack. The hot dog and t-shirt hack are literally NSFW and they got banned because they violate Roblox community guidelines. Anyways, thank y'all for watching today's video. I really appreciate y'all taking the time to hear me yap about this. I know the topic is a bit complicated to talk about, but I did feel like it was necessary. There shouldn't be a stigma around boobs anymore. It's 2025. But let me know what y'all think in the comments down below. Do you think the hack is fine to do? Do you think it's wrong? Or do you fall in the middle where it's right until someone makes it wrong? Okay, bye. See you in the next one. Bye. Okay, bye. See you. Bye.